Hey.
Hey, man. So what'd you do today?
I had a good day. I went bowling.
Yeah.
And then we had to do this and watch this.
We had to watch a movie.
We watched it so you don't have to.
Yeah. So basically, we watched Without Remorse, the new Michael B. Jordan movie on Amazon Prime. And wow, I never thought I'd be this disappointed with a movie.
Especially with such a good actor, too.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his role as Killmonger in Black Panther was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He's done several other films that I haven't seen, and they're all great.
Mm-hmm.
And then this came out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Without Remorse. But I have a lot of remorse watching this movie.
Yeah, I have buyer's remorse. And I didn't even buy the freaking movie.
We didn't even have to pay for this, and I still regret every... Like, they say time is money. And my time is just completely wasted. It's almost 2 hours.
My time was not spent well.
It's almost 2 hours, and it's... Oh, man. But hey, we got a good beer to review.
We do.
So do me a favor. Can you give a synopsis of Without Remorse? Because I think you watched more of the movie than I did. I kind of toned out halfway through, and...
Okay, so essentially he's a retired military who's gonna go work for this private security company, and then...
See, I didn't even know that much about it.
His,
I was so phoned in.
His wife is like a month away from being due.
She's like ready to pop.
She's right there, and then somebody comes in and kills his wife and unborn child. And almost killed him.
And almost kills him.
He almost
like. This is probably the.
And then the rest of the movie he's trying to get revenge on the people that killed his wife and unborn child.
Yeah, but in a so indirect way. Like, I was very much expecting, like, okay, so it has kind of a crappy setup, right?
It was very predictable.
It was very poorly set up. The motivation was very unimpressive.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for like a John Wick style. Just, alright, the beginning of this movie kind of sucked. But the rest of the movie should just be action-packed. Him just brutally murdering people, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, there's some good murder in this movie. Like, I will say that is a benefit to this movie. But
the military training that they actually did, like, really showed in this movie. That was like,
especially the beginning of the movie. Spoiler, like, we're not gonna do a part 2 after the beer. We're just gonna talk about the movie, and then we're gonna get to the exciting part, which is actually the beer. I like this beer way more than the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I expected a whole John Wick style thing with high octane action.
Yeah, like the whole revenge movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's how they set it up. Like, they should have just... Like, this movie would have been better if they just copied John Wick.
Yeah, probably.
Like, they went for originality. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
But they tried to do a John Wick movie without it being exciting.
Wick. Or without John Wick
motivation or setup or fun. Like, at least they didn't kill a dog.
True.
That's the best thing I can say about this movie. At least they didn't kill a dog.
True.
And his main sidearm for the movie, at least at the beginning,
In the beginning,
Glock.
is a Glock.
I like GLocks. That's about the best I can say for this movie. This movie sucked.
This movie was really bad. I don't understand how it has 3.5 stars.
Yeah, like
this was
2.5 at best.
At best, 1.5.
I straight up. I'm gonna rate this movie right now. 1.
Yeah, 1.
1 star.
Same.
1 star. 1 out of 5. 1 out of 10. This movie was
it was bad.
just.
It's not worth your time.
Oh man.
It's free. It's not worth your time. Don't do it. It's an hour and 50. It's an hour and 50 minutes.
Just. Oh man. Okay. So at the beginning of the movie, we get some good military action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Very well shot, well done raid scene where, you know, you can tell that these are special ops, like highly trained soldiers. They place their shots very well. 1, 2, 3, done. Move on. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom.
Not wasting ammo.
No waste of time, no waste of ammunition, no waste of thought. It's just very precise, very well done. And then the movie just dives down after that. I did think that the scene where they infiltrated his house was decent.
That was pretty good, yeah.
He's just like laying on the couch in his basement and listening to some music.
With like the worst, like world's worst computer. This is like the nicest house ever, and like he's got like the
beautiful house,
like the worst computer, like PC battery in the world.
And
it's like
did he never have it on the charger? Like, was it a? I don't know. It was just.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was very, very bad.
There's no good setup for a lot of things. There's no good payoff for a lot of things.
Even if this movie had another half hour, it still wouldn't have paid off.
Thank God it didn't have another half hour.
It still wouldn't have paid off. It's just the plot's not very. It's not there very well. Everything's very predictable. Michael B. Jordan's acting is good, but at the same time,
it's good at first.
Yeah, but at the same time,
the rest of the time, it seemed like
he didn't even want to do it.
Probably a good hour and 15 minutes. It seemed very phoned in, like he was over the plot of the movie.
He's
just
very
like I was.
Oh yeah.
I went and cooked a steak while this movie was going. They paused it, and I was just like, "Nah, just keep it going." The less time I spend watching this movie, the less of a headache I'm going to have. And I still have a headache. The steak was good.
The only satisfying thing about that movie is that the steak was good.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. Like, I want to talk more about the plot, but
there really wasn't one.
They jumped around quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't really a focus.
Nope.
There wasn't like a central driving thing. Like, you'd think that the central driving plot would be the revenge story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for them killing his wife.
Was very, very lackluster, and like that
very
whole, like,
much.
It was like it didn't seem, like it took like a backseat to attacking the government, essentially.
I'm pretty sure this is... Well, actually, I'm not pretty sure. I'm 100% sure. This is the worst movie we've reviewed so far.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
we talked about Mortal Kombat.
We've intentionally reviewed bad movies. Like,
that's very true.
Like intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
And had good things to say about them.
Mm-hmm.
this movie just sucked.
Yeah, this movie was just bad.
This was bad.
Yeah, man.
I think this was just kind of Amazon being like, we need more original content.
I'm pretty sure
out a movie.
I'm pretty sure Tom Clancy's running a name on anything that's military by now.
Well, I mean, that's kind of been the thing for
a while.
I mean, a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Clancy has written a metric fuck ton of books.
That's very true. That is very true.
And they're all like modern military movies, no books.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, and you know they're like there's really no standout titles like Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Did he do Black Hawk Down? Like,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that would be like the most recognizable movie if he had written that. Yeah, pretty much like the only thing that I've ever associated Tom Clancy with is like the Rainbow Six games, which some of those are like really good.
Yeah, or like he did the Splinter Cell games. Too,
Oh yeah, well, I mean he wrote the central plot to the Splinter Cell games that were adapted for video games, which were probably significantly better than the books. Because the Splinter Cell games were fantastic.
They were.
This movie just kind of sucked.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
It didn't kind of suck. It really sucked.
Not even Michael B. Jordan can save this movie.
Yeah, terrific actor.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible movie.
Brought down prime of his life. Should have just watched Creed again.
That would be a great movie to review. Keep an eye out for the Creed review that we'll end up doing eventually.
That'll happen.
I don't doubt it.
Probably when Creed 3 comes out.
That'd be a good time to do it. And we'll do like a Creed trilogy.
Yeah.
That'd be actually pretty dope.
That would be.
Those are good movies.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we can dive a little bit more deep into the plot. What little there is to dive into.
We can, let's talk about the beer first.
Beer first, because this is actually the highlight of what we're talking about. This is Peak, an organic IPA. I actually didn't look about where this comes from. Portland. Cool. Nice. So an Oregon beer. 7.1%. So right there in the typical IPA range. Mm-hmm. It's organic. So if that's a thing you care about when you're drinking beer, you know, you gotta be healthy, but you're still drinking beer. This is a tasty beer. Mm-hmm. I've always really liked this beer. Yeah. I don't know how wide their distribution is, so I don't know whether or not you'd find this outside of like Oregon, California, like the western states.
Bevmo and like places like that would be like a good place to look, because I've seen it at Bevmo.
Yeah, it's a very unassuming looking beer. Like, it's a very plain can, white with green.
Yep.
It's very simple. Color scheme I love, but
it's very simple.
It's very like subdued, unassuming kind of looking beer. It's something that you probably wouldn't really pick up if you were just shopping around.
Sure.
There's like we were talking about in one of our most recent videos, is like IPAs need something to stand out. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like clout and diversity when it comes to, you know, picking out an IPA. If you're just like going to a store and picking out an IPA, you're probably going to go with something like Bat Squatch, which is a beer we reviewed in one of our previous videos. Yeah, and you're gonna pick something that has like cool artwork or an interesting name or a high alcohol percentage. This doesn't have any of those. It's called Peak. A very unassuming name. It's got a very bland looking can. It's got a very middle range IPA alcohol percentage. This is not something you would just be like, that looks interesting, I'm gonna buy that. It's inexpensive.
$7.99.
$7.99. At least where we're at. So, you know, $8 for a 6-pack. Good price range. 7.1%. Decent alcohol percentage.
It's got a good flavor.
It's got a great flavor.
Taste.
Honestly, like...
Super smooth.
Like, I'd go so far as, like, if you're looking for a daily drinker, like, if you're somebody that wants to have a beer every day, or, like, a good summer beer that's not going to get you too hammered, this is a great beer to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not aggressive. It's got some good hoppy floral notes to it. It's not high in alcohol, but it's not low, so you can still, like, catch a buzz if you drink a few of them. And it's inexpensive.
Yeah.
I very much like this beer as a beer to have around. You know? Like, sure, I don't drink every day. I have recently, but...
Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't drink every day. This is a great beer to just like, you know what? I want a beer. And I am always a go-to IPA sort of person. And this is great for that style.
Yep.
Like, it's a good day drinker and night drinker, chill out and relax kind of drinker. Like, it's not going to get you hammered unless you drink 3 or 4 of them or more. But it's also not, like, bland and boring.
Yeah.
It's got good character to it. It reminds you that it's a beer. And it's tasty. I've in all the times I've drank this, I've never felt like there's any offensive notes or taste to it.
No.
Even if it's been sitting in the fridge. Like, this 6-pack's probably been sitting in the fridge for, like, a month or 2.
I just bought it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, like when we were going to start having people over. Who are vaccinated, okay? We're not, like, stupid.
Public service announcement. Get vaccinated.
We're having people that are over that are vaccinated, okay, fully. They've already been waiting those 2 weeks after their second shot. It's fine. Anyway. But yeah, like, yeah. 2 weeks ago about this.
This beer is the best part of this video. Except that we're going to continue complaining about this movie. Because this movie was so
What do you
bad.
rate the beer?
Oh, I'd give this a solid 4.
Same.
4 out the door. And like, this beer is solid. Right in the middle of, like, you know, flavor and alcohol percentage. It just kind of, like, skirts along.
It's nice. Very well balanced, good flavor.
And it's organic, if that's the thing you care about.
Good alcohol content, and, yeah, it's organic. So, if that means something to you, cool. If it doesn't, it tastes great. So, and it's cheap.
It's cheap.
Like,
honestly, if I were drinking more, this would be a 6-pack I'd buy, like, every other day.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Easily. Economic. Tasty. Gets the job done.
Yep.
I like this beer. I like this beer quite a lot.
Same. So, yeah, 4s across the board.
Yeah. 4 out the door. I'm doing fine. I want to complain about this movie, too. Because there's a lot to complain about for this movie.
Alright, so what's your first complaint?
I mean... Oh, man. I don't even know where to start. Like... I couldn't even really properly hold my attention to this movie.
Yeah, mostly you were.
I saw Tom Clancy, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited for an action movie. And then
there's very little action in this action movie.
Very little actually happened in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what went wrong.
Everything.
Well, I mean, besides all the things.
Besides everything?
Besides, all the things.
Like, it needed a cohesive plot, which it really didn't have.
It didn't have a continuous plot. It kept going off in different directions and never really...
This movie ended up being super political for some fucking reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it ended up being very political without actually making a point.
Yeah. Oh, it's like...
I'm like, is the point to be like, I don't know, black men in America, or black soldiers in the army, or... Like, what is the point? I don't understand the point of this movie.
It's like they were trying to hit on so many different subjects at once, and none of them really took off.
Save us some fucking 30 seconds. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. This movie was just so bad. I can't even collect my thoughts on what I want to complain about this movie, because everything is complainable.
Yeah.
You could make a point to complain about everything in this movie, and you'd be 100% validated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so over this movie, I'm barely even, like, making an effort to pour my beer properly. Which, it actually turned out pretty good. Nice. I just kind of dumped it in there.
Yeah, this was... Yeah, don't watch this movie. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
We watched this with a lot of remorse.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to. Please, just skip over this. Make sure Amazon doesn't make any more crappy Tom Clancy movies. It was so bad. Fun thought. We still got some beer left to go, and we still got a little time left to go before we hit the 30-minute mark. You want to talk about literally anything else?
Sure, man.
I'm really excited to watch the next episode of My Hero Academia.
Yes. I've been catching up with the season.
I also started watching Invincible, which is incredible.
Love Invincible.
If you haven't seen Invincible, stop watching this video. I don't even care if you watch the rest of it. Go watch Invincible. Also on Amazon. Way better than Without Remorse. I like how we're just totally trash talking this movie. It was so bad. It couldn't even keep my attention.
Yeah, you were on your phone half the movie.
It literally was. Like, well, my mom was texting me. I was just replying to her. But, seriously, even if my mom was texting me, if it was a even halfway decent movie, I would have been watching the movie.
Too?
Or been like, oh, my mom sent me something. Set my phone down and continue watching the movie.
Yeah.
This movie could not hold my attention for more than 5 minutes.
No.
There's some cool gunplay here and there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene with the sniper that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's not really any payoff in that part either. So
yeah, like the best part about the sniper scene was that him using the piece of glass and like he's still shooting at him, and him like hesitantly holding up the glass to try and figure out where the sniper is, and then that whole thing still isn't resolved for like 8 minutes. It's like you know exactly where the sniper is. Like you're like, oh, this floor, this window.
Third floor, second window.
And then they can't shoot him. There's like 7 people there.
Yeah.
How do they not shoot him? What the hell? Like, these are elite soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black girl did well. I can't remember her name because this movie is so uninteresting. I can't remember anybody's name. I don't even. The only reason I know who Michael B. Jordan plays is because his name is John.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know his last name.
Her name was Karen. In the movie.
Oh yeah, Karen.
Karen Greer.
Yeah, because of a meme, I can remember her name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, John and Karen, and everybody else is just other soldier with beard.
They're nicknamed.
Other soldier with annoying plot.
Yeah, there's one of the soldiers was nicknamed Hatchet. And another one of the soldiers has another stupid nickname.
I have no idea who you're referring to when you say Hatchet. Like, they name him in the movie,
yeah.
and I couldn't tell you who that character is.
Mm-hmm.
I was so uninterested in this. Yeah, all I can do is shit on this movie.
Yep.
This movie was absolute garbage. It failed to keep me interested. I thought it was going to be at least a decent action movie. Nope. They tried to shove plot into scenes that
the movie
need
also
plot.
the music is super confusing throughout the entire movie.
Oh,
like
man,
sometimes it'll be like sometimes it'll be
music.
intense and like sometimes like during a really intense scene it's super low and you can barely hear it and like not very intense at all and like kind of takes you out of the scene and you're like, wow, this is really bad.
Okay, I have an idea. Let's talk about how we would have made this movie. Granted, we're not filmmakers. We're just film junkies. We have no background in film editing, lighting, sound, any of the major components to actually making a movie. How would you make this movie better? I think that's a valid thing we can talk about that will make this video more interesting.
I think you're right.
Ways to make this movie better. Go.
Better action, light up some of the darker scenes, better music, also make the music a little bit more outstanding. Everything's very low, very strings.
Yeah.
But you can barely hear it. Bring up the music a little bit, especially during intense scenes. Bring up the lighting a little bit because everything's
there's a lot
super
of
dark.
muddled scenes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of muddled areas where we could have seen more going on. It very much reminded me of the Benghazi movie.
Yeah,
with John Krasinski.
Mm. That was good.
That was a decent movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with that movie.
This one not so much.
Yeah, it was very much like you're supposed to be in the action of a real military raid, and it didn't deliver on the real military raid.
Yeah.
There were parts of the final action sequence that I liked. But man, it was just not enough to hold up this movie.
I think if you did better action sequences, bring up the lighting and the music a little bit more to add to the tension, it would make this movie 100 times better.
Make it John Wick. Would have made it a lot better.
There you go.
People come in, kill his wife, unborn child, and he goes on a murder spree with really cool action scenes and a non-confusing, coherent plot. That's all they had to do.
Yep.
And they didn't do that.
Nope.
And as a result, this movie sucked.
Yep. It really did.
Please don't watch this movie.
Yeah, please don't.
If I can request anything of my couple of fans, it's that you just should not watch this movie.
Just don't do it. Yeah, just don't do it. Just leave it be.
Yeah, it'll be 2 hours of your life that you can spend doing literally anything else.
Yeah, watch this instead.
Yeah.
And that way you'll know.
Yeah.
And
it'll actually help somebody.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah. Amazon doesn't need any help.
Amazon doesn't need any help. Exactly. Michael B. Jordan doesn't need any help. He's a great actor.
He'll survive.
He'll bounce back.
Yeah.
After this movie, I hope.
I mean, Black Panther 2 is going to
Black
start.
Panther 2.
He's going to start filming in the next couple months, I think. I think they said July. Either July or August. They're going to start filming. So for a next year release.
That's a movie I'm really excited to see. And I get that the Marvel movies are, kind of cut and paste, just do what they do, but
very formulaic.
Yeah, but
if formula works,
they're entertaining.
Yeah,
they have a plot. You can follow the plot.
Yeah,
and you can enjoy it.
A lot of their characters are relatable.
Yeah,
like they have real world problems.
Characters
even
that
though
you
they're
can't
superheroes.
relate to have some sort of draw to them that make them interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in this movie was interesting.
Nope. Everything was super dry.
Characters were just bland and boring.
Yep.
Like, I was really hoping for shaved head black chick. I can't remember it. Karen.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for her to have some sort of, integral plot point or interesting feature or some sort of badass moment where she shuts down a white man. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Anything. Literally anything would have been better than what they did with her.
Yeah.
It was just so damn boring.
Yeah, it was boring. And
this movie was boring.
It's an hour and 50 minutes of nothing, really.
Ugh.
There's no payoff.
There's 2 to 3 minutes of good action scenes.
Yeah. That's about
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to cheers at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to finish this beer before this video's over, but here's to you.
Here's to me.
Friends for life we shall always be.
If by chance we disagree.
Well, then screw you.
Here's to me. Cheers.